Hey guys, listen, I am so excited to be on here with y'all today. First of all, let me tell you this. I'm sitting here like getting butterflies, not because I'm afraid or anything like that, but I'm just getting butterflies because I couldn't get on here fast enough to share with you what I'm going to be talking to you about today. And I got a surprise for you guys. But anyway, listen, if you don't know who I am Rosalind Hall, and I just want to welcome you here today. Over the last uh it seems like about 100 days, I've been sharing with you guys that I have been in a training, an identity shift training. And in that training, I've learned so much about myself. I have learned how to treat myself better. I've learned how to speak about myself better. I've learned how to actually expect more about me, expect more from myself. And that's something that I haven't been doing over the past few years. I know you've been seeing me come and grow over the past, I'll say 5 years, but the person, even from last year that you knew of, that Rosalind, I'm still not the same person. And that's because of the identity shift. It has taught me so much about really the self-concept that you have of yourself, your self-image. And we're going to talk about this, the self-image and self-concept, not today, but I just feel really, I wanted to just kind of give you guys an idea of what has been going on in my life and why you keep seeing so much of me. Because I don't know if you know it or not, but I I dropped out of high school. I was bullied as a kid, you know. I grew up without a father. And there's so many other women out there and men who have probably gone through somewhat of the same thing that I did. And you just, honestly, I guess you could put, what do they call it? Put two and two together and then say, oh, okay, because that's what a lot of people have been doing. We've just really been being okay with where we are. We've been being okay with, just whatever you get, that's what you get. But guys, I'm really excited about what we're talking about today. And one of the things is, oh, and by the way, um, it's just been so many things going on. I'll save that for later. But the thing is this, you already know what to do. And you have to be willing to just go ahead and do it anyway. And my tagline lately has been stop stopping. We keep stopping. We'll start doing something and then we'll stop. We'll get a little further with it. We'll start back doing it and then we'll get a little further and we'll stop again. And then we'll go a little bit farther again. It's like, the three strikes you're out, and but no, this isn't three strikes you're out. It's three strikes and then to three times we started, four times we started, five times we started. Listen, guys, what I want to do is give you some things to help you to stop that cycle in your life so that you will be farther ahead in your life doing the things and having the things that you really want to have. Do it anyway. So listen, if you don't know who I am Rosalind Hall. Um, I am I'm really glad that you're on here today because I got exactly what you need to hear. So listen, I know I mentioned this, but I didn't tell you this part. Over the next 30 days, I'm going to be coming to you every single day. And that includes the weekends. I'm going to be talking to you, not trying to motivate you, but I'm going to be walking with you, holding your hand to give you the tools that you need so that you can stop stopping to help you keep moving forward. And again, like I said, what is stop stopping? It's those things you keep stopping, but you never finish them. Whether it's a business you're trying to start, whether it's you trying to get your health back on track or get it on track, period. Your relationship with God, writing a book, going live, like I said, posting a video, whatever the business is, because there's multiple things that people want to do. Maybe you just want to become the woman that God wants you to become. Maybe you just want to become the man that God wants you to become, whatever it is. So I don't want this to be another 30 days where you get so excited and that dopamine takes over for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you go right back to doing what you've always been doing. I'm here to help you break that cycle, because what I've learned is the biggest thing standing in people's way mostly is the life isn't what they lack. It's not that they're lacking talent. They're not lacking opportunity. Most of the time, they just simply stop doing. So today I want to talk to you about the woman who keeps talking about she's stuck. I don't want to, I didn't know what to do next. I didn't either. I felt like I didn't. I felt like I was stuck. I was always starting things that I would never finish. And the reason this message is so important to me is because I was helping several women over the weekend publish their books. And as I was helping them, one of the things they kept saying was, and it was the same thing, they kept saying, Rosalind, I got stuck. I'm like, oh my gosh, you too? I didn't know what to do next. I'm like, oh my, I mean, it was almost like talking to the same people, the same ladies at the same time, like, oh my gosh. One of them said, I always get to a certain point and then I stop and I said, okay, that's it. That's what really stood out to me. And she said, that's been my whole life. I start things and I stop. And I was like, okay, this is not right now about publishing her book. This is about real life. This is about many women, including myself, starting stuff and then you just abandon it. You simply stop. So today I'm going to help you change that. Okay. So I want you to get a piece of paper, write this down. I'm going to give you 3 points, and I know they're going to be simple and easy. Awareness, correct the lie, 3 brave steps. That's what we're going to do. That's how I'm going to help you. Make sure you write them down. So let's start with awareness. Now, you need to ask yourself this question. Why aren't you where you said you wanted to be? No, not what you've been telling everybody else. The real answer. Have you been saying stuff like, I don't know enough? I'm scared. I'm too old. I'm not qualified. Everybody else is smarter than me. Blah, blah, blah. You sound like me. That such and such has a degree. They have more experience. I don't know what to do next. Become aware of what you've been saying to yourself, because until you really become aware of that story, you're going to keep believing that same thing. Figure out, what is it? Why are you where you are? Why are you where you are? Let's correct that lie, because it is a lie. It's not the truth. Here's the truth. You've been telling yourself that reason you haven't moved forward is simply because you don't know what to do. That's a lie. You've been telling yourself because you're scared. That's a lie. You've been telling yourself because somebody else is smarter than I am. They've been doing this for years. As a matter of fact, that's not the reason. It is not. And you've been telling yourself that you don't have enough spirit experience. That's not the truth either. Here's the real question. Let me ask you this, okay? Do you trust God? Remember, you know what to do, okay? You know what to do. Answer the question. Do you trust God? Because if we say we trust him, but then we refuse to move because we can't see the next step, what? What are we doing? Joshua 1 says what? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Do not get discouraged, because the Lord is going to be with you the whole way. Okay, so I threw in my own interpretation. The scripture says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Notice what it says, though. because he didn't say, I'm going to be with you after you figure it out. What did he say? He said, I'm going to be with you along the way as you're going, as you're doing. A couple of weeks ago, we were on identity shift training, and my mentor, she reminded us, she said something that really, really stayed with me, and it helped me out a lot. I actually printed out, I don't have it with me. I actually printed out something for my mirror work to help me every single day. And when I tell you, when you get this, this is going to change how you see everything. See, we spend a lot of time trying to do everything ourselves, but we forget whose we are. And she reminded us that Jesus said in John 5:30, I myself can do nothing. When I heard that, that literally took the pressure off of me. And I realized I don't have to force this. So every morning when I stand in the mirror, when I do my mirror work, I remind myself, I do not have to force this. God is my strength. God is my order. God is my discipline. God is my help. This space will reflect peace. This is what it says. I'm telling you. I created this and I put it's in the bathroom. I got one on my desk. I got one in my other bathroom. This space will reflect clarity. This space will reflect the woman that God is shaping me to become. I do my part and God gives me grace. That's how I move. And you know what? I think a lot of us are just, I'm gonna use it, but it's not stuck. A lot of us call ourselves being stuck. We're not stuck. We just don't want to move because of whatever the reason is that you keep making up in your head why you're not moving. But let me read it to you. John 5, it says, by myself I can do nothing. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just. For I seek not to please myself, by him who sent me. John emphasizes, and he says, Jesus' complete dependence. That's Jesus. It's Jesus's complete dependence on the Father, his perfect obedience and righteousness in his judgment. So again, you don't have to do it by yourself. You do the work and you trust God. You do the work and you believe that it's going to happen. You do the work and remember faith without faith without work is what? That you can't, it doesn't go together. It doesn't go together. Faith without work is dead. So you have to remember that as you're deciding not to go forward, as you're deciding, hey, I wish I could, you can though. You can. I've given you two scriptures. Write those down. Let those help you. Now, here's your brave step. Today, you're going to start doing what you've been putting off. You're going to hit the button, go live. You're going to write that first page. You're going to post a video. You're going to and I know right now, some of you probably got really, really nervous. You're going to make the phone call. You're going to take that next step. Stop waiting until you know every single thing before you move. Because here's what I told those ladies. I said, whether you stop or whether you keep going, the time is going to pass away anyway. So stop. So why not use that time to create something, and something good at that? Here's something I want you to think about. Maybe you've been waiting for somebody to come help you. Maybe you've been waiting for somebody to tell you exactly what to do. Maybe you've been waiting for somebody else to rescue you. But what if the help doesn't come until you move? What if God is waiting on your obedience before he connects you to the person who's supposed to help you? I mean, come on. Sometimes you got to go far enough in the journey for the next person to find you. So stop waiting for somebody to build your dream. Start building now. And I want you to remember this too. You start the fire and let God provide the wood. Let me say that again. You start the fire and let God provide the wood. That's your job. Start the fire. Let God provide the wood. So today, stop stopping. You already know what to do. You just need to do it anyway. And before I get off of here, I want to invite you guys back to tomorrow. I'm doing these lives for the next 30 days. I don't want to just motivate you. I want to help you change. I want to grab you by the hand and walk you through this thing. Today, we talked about why you keep stopping. Tomorrow, we're going to go a step deeper, okay? And we're going to talk about the picture that you have of yourself. I mean, think about it. How are you thinking about yourself right now? Are you thinking of yourself, oh, gosh, standing over a city and you are standing on a stage in front of tens of thousands of women? How do you see yourself? And or maybe it's how maybe that is how the life that you're living right now has been created by simply what you're thinking about yourself. And I'm going to share something with you that I realized about me, and it really hit hard. I realized that a lot of the goals that I had reached, it wasn't because they were too big. It was because of the exactly what I was thinking about myself, because I couldn't see myself at that level. I couldn't picture myself as being that woman. And if you can't see yourself there, you're going to struggle to make the decisions required to making that change. So tomorrow we're going to talk about your self-concept and your self-image, like why changing the way you see yourself and the way you live. So you really don't want to miss that. I'm trying not to get too deep into it because that is where I am right now. And y'all, let me tell you something. Tell it to you raw and real. I had to go look up self-concept. And when I looked it up, I was like, oh my gosh. Self-concept is how you see yourself actually being able to do certain things. It's how you see yourself actually having the capability, or even like, am I that type of person? And you start questioning, like, oh my, I'm talking about making this amount of money, but besides that, I'm talking about helping this amount of people. That self-concept is really what's holding you back from the next step in your life. So you don't want to miss that. And just invite somebody who needs to hear it. If you're having a conversation with a friend, or run across someone who's having a tough time with believing in their self, whether it's low self-esteem, they got some confidence problems. You don't have to tell them they have a confidence problem. Say, listen to this lady. It may help you. And just send them my link. You can send them the profile link to Facebook, my Facebook page, or it could be Instagram or TikTok. But guys, listen, I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you don't, when you come back, don't come alone. Make sure you bring somebody with you. Stop stopping. You already know what to do. And it's time for you to do it anyway. Guys, I love you. And listen, don't forget, tune in again tomorrow. I'll see you all later. Good night.